Thanks, buddy. Thank you, sir. I love you, man. Well, I can't tell you how many of my heroes are in the SEMA Hall of Fame. And it hasn't always been for what they've done in their career that made them so special. It's often what they've done in ways to give back to this industry that we all love so much. Tonight's next Hall of Fame inductee, Matt Agosta, has become a hero for that for many reasons. He's an instrumental volunteer within SEMA and ARMO and has been pivotal in issues affecting the aftermarket, including legislation and education, while also being a strong advocate for change. Let's hear about Matt's journey.
I grew up in the construction industry. My dad was a cement contractor, and I worked with him through my teen years. So I never thought I would actually be doing anything with cars. It wasn't until I met my future wife, Carolyn, and her dad was making parts for old cars, and he was a tool and die maker, making stamping dies for tier 1 suppliers, and at night he would make parts for old cars. But it wasn't until after I was out of school and Carol and I were married that Lynn had moved, my father-in-law, had moved his shop from Michigan down to North Carolina, and shortly thereafter, he couldn't find any help because he was out in the middle of nowhere. So he called me and he says, "Come on down, you can help me in the office, while I work out in the shop." And on my first day of work, he put me out in the shop. I said, I'd never been in the shop before. But he brought me to a milling machine. He said, "Just crank this handle nice and steady and call me when you're at the other end." And then he put me at the other end, and I crank all the way back. And lo and behold, that was my beginning to learning how to make tools, and became a fairly decent tool maker, as well as being able to run the front office. At that early stages, we really weren't an industry per se. There was really no one voice for us. Everybody was scattered, and we were trying to find out how do we herd all these people together so we can talk with one voice. Because it was right around the same time when we had the trademark issues with the OEs, and at the same time we had California was starting with their clunker bills. We were just trying to figure out how do we stay alive, because it looked like everybody was trying to put us out of business. And the solution really came from SEMA being able to bring a group of our industry leaders and the licensing end of the OE, and we brought them together for a conference. So that's when SEMA used a little bit of their influence to say, get to the table, come up with an agreement. Over the years, I've always been more of trying to put teams together rather than try to do things on my own. I get people together and get all the ideas out, and then, we'll make a decision what direction to go in. We keep building things that we believe will help our members move forward. I enjoy seeing people succeed, and if I can help them succeed, that's what really gets me going. I learned a lot from an awful lot of people here in this industry. I don't know how I could ever thank them for all the help they gave me, and they probably never even realized they did.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Agosta. Where's he hype? There he is. Yeehaw!
Well, I walk into the room, passing out $100 bills, and it kills and it thrills. Horns on my Silverado.
It's got some weight to it, don't it? Congratulations, Matt. Now, you've been volunteering both within SEMA and separate from SEMA for many years. What makes those experiences important to you?
I think I've been like that girl that just can't say no. Every time I get asked, I feel the pressure. But no, seriously though, I get a lot of satisfaction, from being involved, especially with a group of like-minded people. You know, I'm a people person. I like being around people, and you know, whether it's with my group here in SEMA and Armo, or church, or other activities that I work with. You know, I like being around people that have the same goal, and that way it doesn't make a job anymore. You know, it becomes more of a social event with a good, you know, looking for a good outcome.
It's a great answer. And by the way, we got to have some fun up here, so it's okay to have a little fun. As president and CEO of Steel Rubber Products, you started a mentoring program. What's been the most fulfilling part of creating that opportunity for young people?
You know, as I grew up, I had many people that helped guide me, you know, nudge me in the right direction. And so I've always had that feeling of giving back. And I've found that mentoring, you know, unlike coaching, you know, a lot of times you don't know when you're really mentoring someone. I've had people come to me and said, you know, you've been my mentor for a long time, and I just have to sit back and go, geez, I didn't know it. But you were there when I needed you. You know, I asked you questions. You made time for me. And that meant a lot to me. That really meant a lot. Now, we also can have an organized mentor program. We do that at work. We work with interns and with the various colleges around us. And we can give them projects so they can, you know, work in a safe environment and be ready for when they graduate. And even here at SEMA, I think one of the things that impressed me was several years ago we had an intern at our booth, and he was really excited about being here at SEMA and excited about everything he saw. And he kept asking me tons of questions about business and how do we do this and how do we do that. And after the SEMA show, he continued to keep calling me. Then he started working on an old truck, and I gave him a real reason I have to call. So, you know, we'd talk. After he graduated, he started his own shop, and he'd stop by and SEMA every year and come by and see me. I really felt real good about that, knowing that I had a little something to do to nudge him to make that move to start his career going.
Well, congratulations. That's a great answer, because that's what it's all about, is replacing this industry with great youth. Again, everybody, congratulations to Matt Agosta. We'll be back in just a minute.